All right, what's up, everybody? Today we got the Dynasty Deep Dive notes. Very excited to go over this with you guys. We're going over two things. We're going to go through the trailer. We're going to watch that, give you my thoughts on that. And then we're also going to go over the deep dive notes. That's going to take a little while. Listen, guys, just put me on while you're on your car ride, going to work, and I'll go over all the patch notes, read them for you so you don't have to. That way you can just listen, enjoy your ride to work, and then you can be up to date on all the college football content. Also, stay tuned here on the 9 to 5ers channel, posting almost daily content, how to videos, all that stuff, deep dives. We're going to be covering it all right here. Make sure you guys are subscribed, like, share all this content, and let's just get right into this. All right, like I said, first thing we got the trailer right here. Let's go ahead and watch it. Let's listen to Kirk, see what he's got.
Hey everybody, it's Kirk Herbstreit. Improvements to Dynasty and EA Sports College Football 26 are focused around adding authenticity to every Dynasty run, while also delivering on community feedback. For the first time ever, you can
Marcus
start
Freeman,
your
real
dynasty
coaches,
by
they told us that
stepping
these were
into
going to be
the
in
role
here.
of one
This
of
is cool
over
to see.
300 authentic college football coaches. To ensure
James Franklin,
each coach
that's cool.
And coordinators'
And the
authentic
coordinators,
styles
Billy
are
Thompson.
highlighted, we completely rebalanced archetypes and abilities and enhanced playbooks with over 2,800 new plays. So
Wow,
when you battle a
2,800 new
CEO
plays, that's a
like
lot.
Kirby Smart one week and a program builder like Lane Kiffin the next,
I mean,
you
the
truly
coaches
feel
don't
the
look
difference on the
identical.
football field.
They look pretty
This new
good.
depth also offers more options when creating your own coach, giving you more control over the path you ultimately take.
Okay, let's stop right here for a second. So they're going to give us more control. Look at that really quick if you have the chance to pause. We've got a bunch of new coaching gear. You guys wanted that. We wanted that. The community did. We got it. Thank you, EA, for that.
A new progression curve offers early career momentum with more sustained growth across a new level cap up to 100. Of course,
Up to
no
100.
coach excels at
We got more
everything,
tiers.
so
That's what I'm
hire
talking about.
coordinators who complement your strengths or shore up your weaknesses. And make sure to leverage your staff's active archetype perk to really accelerate your progression.
Okay, so we're going to pause right here. So it seems like they're pretty much the same things last year. If you get coordinators that complement you, that's what you really want. All the areas you're weak in. So they're continuing that over. But the cap goes up to 100. That's nice. I'm curious. I want to see how many points does it cost for some of these things, if the 100 actually matters or not. Archetype.
Updates to how coaching archetypes are unlocked, balanced,
All right, here they go. They're
going
gonna talk about it right
make
here.
each coaching path even more strategic and distinct. All three base archetypes.
Ooh, look at
now
that right
require
there.
A
So same things. Motivator, recruiter, tactician. Okay.
minimum coach level to unlock, promoting focused early investment and making your initial archetype choice more meaningful. New scaling archetype costs encourage more intentional choices as you progress. Now, advancing within your specialty, like moving from recruiter to elite recruiter, is more affordable than a path that requires learning a new skill set.
Okay, so pretty much the same as last year. I mean, if you're going to go down a path you want to, it seems like you're still not going to be able to kind of be like a Thanos head coach, which is okay, but I think we still want the ability for, if we want those kind of coaches, give us that ability.
Preserve your
Trophy
dynasty
room.
legacy
This is big.
with the
I want to see this.
all-new trophy room. Showcase every trophy, title,
Okay, that's cool.
and individual award won throughout your coaching journey. And look ahead at what coveted hardware you still need to strive for. The new college football history feature serves as a college football history book. Unless you compare your
Wow.
program to the all-time
18,
greats, adding a new
69, it goes
of
far that
legacy
back?
building to dynasty.
That's crazy. Presentation looks really
We've
good here too.
revamped the
Transfer portal. This is
to
us.
create more
This is our
realistic
channel
player
right here.
movement, especially among the 4- and 5-star players. Now, from 2,000 up to 3,500 athletes can enter the portal each season, giving you fresh ways to build your roster year after year. New dynamic deal breakers are player expectations that evolve with their talent.
Okay, so deal breakers are going to be able, they're gonna fluctuate over time. Okay, that's cool. I like to see that. That'll keep our dynasties very interesting. If you have a really good wide receiver, For some reason, he wants more money somewhere else. NIL stuff doesn't work out. He's gone. That'll be cool.
3-star freshman who is happy with average facilities? If he's an All-American by junior year, he might be looking for top-tier amenities. And whether it's listed as a deal breaker or not, your most talented players may still demand playing time. Some coach abilities can impact dynamic deal breakers, providing strategic recruiting advantages.
Now, I wonder if those are actually going to have an impact. We're going to test all this stuff, guys, when the game comes out. I'll have all this out for you guys. Because last year there was abilities like this. I think we all remember that, and they were completely useless. None of us ever spent our points there.
New dynamic dev traits have a bigger impact on player
Did y'all hear that? Dynamic dev traits. Excited for that. That's huge. I like that.
growth, along with more abilities across 59 total player archetypes for better variety among athletes.
Yes.
And skill group levels increased from 10 to 20, so progression feels more gradual and realistic.
I like that.
Recruiting visits now involve
Recruiting, here we go.
location-based costs. So the further a prospect lives from your campus, the more recruiting hours a visit costs.
Makes
This
sense.
simulates an authentic recruiting
More
challenge
resources you
faced
gotta
by
use. Gotta
smaller
go
programs who
longer
must
plane
focus
ride.
locally, while powerhouses can recruit nationally. New recruiting battles create high-stakes showdowns.
Ooh, recruiting
where
battles. Okay,
multiple
we wanted that
schools are
too.
Neck and neck
Good
for
job,
a
EA.
coveted recruit, and team needs are now front and center on your prospect
Love
list.
that.
So
Love.
you
I
always know
always
exactly where to focus your
always
efforts.
wanted to know where that was at.
When it comes to wear and tear, every player now has a seasonal health pool that depletes as they recover. And once
This is gonna
it's
be cool.
empty, they can't bounce back until
Dynasty's
the
going to be a
offseason.
lot
New
and
auto
more
subs
intense this year.
incorporate different wear and tear strategies, allowing
Custom.
you to
See that, guys?
customize
We got
substitution thresholds
customizing.
and better manage
Love the
your
scoreboard.
team's
Scoreboard looks
long-term
good.
usage. Within custom conferences, the new protected opponents option ensures certain annual matchups, regardless of divisional changes.
It's cool.
Preserve key rivalries like
I like
Michigan
that, too.
versus
That looks
Ohio
pretty
State
slick.
every year with this feature. Up to 2 protected opponents per team. New formation subs.
Formation
provide
subs, they're
flexibility
back.
To assign players to specific alignments.
Good job,
adding
EA.
ways to
We knew that,
strategically
but
exploit
looks
opponent
good.
team weaknesses.
Looks easy.
Take advantage of new position archetypes with up to 50 subs per
Raw
team.
strength,
With packages
signal caller,
that persist season
physical
to
freak.
season.
We're going to be breaking all those
With
down, what they do
crossplay in
here
Dynasty,
soon in a video.
Build your college football empire with friends on any platform.
Crossplay, guys.
Use the enhanced
Crossplay. All you guys out there that are my friends on Xbox, you got to get in. You better get in this league because we're gonna run it now. We can run it now. Thank you, EA. The only thing I'm not hearing, guys, let me know. Comment down below, somebody. Are we gonna be able to import our draft classes? Has anyone heard any kind of intel on that? I haven't heard them talk about that. I'm a little bit bummed about that because that is a big reason why I would want to play Madden and continue to play Madden. So hopefully they're going to sneak that in on something, maybe the Road to Glory.
Player Hub and new Members tab to effortlessly manage your
This Members tab, guys, right here, this is our channel. This is what got us going pretty good so far. I'm going to be dropping a video on the transfer portal glitch when the game drops out. That's the first video we're dropping.
Dynasty and stay connected. Pre-order the MVP bundle. Includes both EA Sports College Football
Okay.
26 and Madden
See if there's anything
NFL
else they have
26
here.
for Xbox Series XS and PlayStation 5.
All right, guys, let's go over to the deep dive notes. We'll see you there in just a second. All right, guys, we're over here. Made it to the Dynasty Deep Dive, and we got Team Builder we're going to be talking about. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible, hit all the heavy-hitting stuff. They pretty much, we saw a lot of the building of the foundation of the coaches. Okay, that's a big thing. That's a pretty slick little screenshot of the Dynasty. Little refresh. I like that. Looks good. Build your own coach. Create your own coach. Pretty much what they talked about. They got the 300 coaches in here. They're going to feel authentic the way, they would in real life. Historical career stats, play call tendencies, things like that is what their claim is going to happen. We'll see. I hope that does work out. And we can already see right here, if you choose to build your own coach, we've added new ways to customize your appearance, new gear options to let you show off your drip and deck your coach out in everything from a hoodie to joggers to quarter zips, jeans, guys. So if we're feeling, kind of froggy, we can rock this setup right here. You know, I bet some of you are going to be rocking this as your standard coach, so we'll see how that goes. But that's pretty cool. We asked for that. We got it. Awesome. Also, right here, as you guys can see on the screen, they're pretty much talking about how you can pick first name, last name, offensive and defensive playbook, alma mater. Some of that stuff's same, but you've got demeanor, and then you've got a stance, and then you've got this adaptive AI. So I think that's pretty cool too. Coach progression. So, you know, they talked about they bumped it from 50 to 100. But what I was hearing, which we're going to go over that here in a minute, what I was hearing is that the cost for more advanced recruiter or tactician is more expensive than it was last year. So my question is 50 to 100, did it even do anything, or did we just go back to 50 pretty much? We're going to test that out, because I have a feeling that they really didn't do anything. I hope that's not the case. I hope that 100 gets you us a lot more points, bang for a buck, but we'll see. But it says progression is heavily influenced by your active archetypes perks. And I think they got a lot of things, you know, recruiter, motivator, tactician. Those are obviously going to be the three you want to start with. It says the amount of XP from the architect perk now scales by architect tier. Elite archetypes, elite recruiters, motivator, master motivators offer double the amount of XP as the three base archetypes. Okay, all right. So pretty much like last year, if you've got someone who's CEO like Kirby's smart, he's pretty much going to give you discounts on things, on your abilities. They're pretty much talking about, hey, look, this complements. Right here, as a part of the perk balance, also updated several archetype perks. For example, developing now is the draft dividends perk, which awards 3,000 bonus XPs for players that get drafted. Okay, so things that get big game bonuses, pretty much bonuses for getting players. And then we got some more screenshots of the abilities and kind of showing you that price. That price is kind of steep at 30. That's a lot. I don't think we saw any that was that high. So we'll see. Pretty much they're just talking about the different archetypes, talent develop. Let's go ahead and get into Coach Carousel. So for Coach Carousel, they says they've introduced the foundation of Coach Carousel last year, but now what they've done, they've added in, it's more polished feedback and better quality of life improvements. Right here, this says, now you'll receive notifications when your coordinators accept or decline job offers. We needed that. Quality of life improvement. Definitely like that. Or when someone poaches for your coach for a new opportunity. Whether they're leaving for a promotion or just jumping ship unexpectedly, you'll be informed. And it shows right here, just a generic little headshot, and it says offer accepted. So that's cool. But if you have program builder abilities, right here, what it talks about is you can get 3 different things. You can get home forever, which your coordinators are less likely to leave for another job. You can get deal sweetener, which coordinators are more likely to accept your job offer. And then you've got cream of the crop, which increases the caliber of coordinators available to you to hire. Some people might want to play with that. Some people might think that's important. Some of y'all are going to be like, no, I make my coordinators. And I'm with you on that one. So, but pretty much they've got a whole staff moving screen now. Dabo Sweeney to Alabama. Some of you are like, what in the world? You Clemson fans, I'm sorry. Look, they made the edit. I'm just relaying the information. But looks clean, looks good. Filling out your trophy room. So we're going to talk about trophy room now. Pretty much what they're talking about is every great dynasty leaves behind a legacy. That's really what they want to hone in on here. But they're talking about as you play through a dynasty, every time you win a rivalry game, bowl game, conference championship, national championship, individual awards, you'll receive a notification about these trophies being added to your room. That's cool. You can access this anytime from Dynasty Hub or from the main menu. I want to see, is this specific to each dynasty right here? Each dynasty you create has its own dedicated trophy room tied to your coach, tracking every trophy you've earned. I love that. That's awesome. That's pretty good. You'll see from seasons, opponents, final scores, and games. And right here, you guys can see, I mean, they've got it to where, you know, Steve Sarkisian was the head coach of 2025, best head coach, national championship, who they played, what the score was. That's cool. I like that. That looks really good. We wanted this, guys. We wanted this big time. It says in total there are more than 160 rivalry, bowl, and individual awards to be collected. That's insane. It says whether you're flexing your 5th Heisman, 3rd Natty, or just looking to back on the legends that defined your dynasty. Right there. Looking back on the legends that defined your dynasty in your trophy room, that's awesome that we'll get to see that one quarterback, that one wide receiver that won 2 or 3 Heismans, and we couldn't remember his name. Here he is. But pretty much what they're talking about is, and it's not just limited to Dynasty, Trophy Room, it's global across all modes, including Road to Glory, Play Now, Road to the College Football Playoff, so on and so on. So that's really cool. Glad they added that. Building your program, talent acquisition. This is more talking about us again in our channel, what we did. The transfer portal. So they said you'll see around a pool of around 2,000 players that are going to get entered. But they talked about something about where you could tailor this to yourself. But here they've got a statement saying that they've realigned how they to give out the stars for prospects. Players were assigned their stars based off their overall. It says now that the rating is heavily influenced by the player's position and class year. For example, an 85 overall freshman quarterback will be scored higher than an 85 overall senior quarterback. I like that. I like that. Or it says overall senior guard. Okay. I still like that because it should be valued that way. I mean, we see all the time these guys come in, freshmen in the transfer portal. They had some hype. They're 5 stars immediately. Pretty much they said it's not a mechanic. It's a philosophy. It's just how you pretty much do your team. This is what it looks like. You still have your team needs. Looks really good with all the players. And based off of this list that they have, I mean, there's DJ Lagway in here, Jeremiah Smith, Arch Manning. This looks like one of the ones we put together. I mean, there's a lot of people in this transfer portal. That looks pretty good. That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. But as you can see again, the only thing is Jeremiah Smith's only got, 4 or 5 people. And he's probably got a deal breaker, so it's going to be kind of hard. These deal breakers, they talked about it. These things are going to be fluctuating. Just know that. They may start as one thing, but they may get, better or harder for you to manage as a coach as time goes on. But pretty much it's just talking about higher rated players are going to demand more. Lower rated players aren't. As they get better, they'll end up demanding more too. So that's where this evolving expectations come from. So you can get a school that once felt like a great fit, may suddenly feel mid. It's the big fish in a small pond effect. So that's one of the deal breakers that it's getting. They talked about here, they use Nico Maliava as an actual reference and how he transferred to UCLA because of NIL. So that's something that did change, and that's cool, and it makes it seem real life. I still want to see about the turnover. Like, is there a set limit? Do we have customization over this? Let's go look down here for the deal breakers, and it's just showing us some screenshots right there. And then okay, I see it right there. But let's go ahead and talk about building your coach. If players decide to leave, abilities with the program builder archetype can help. So if you want to help try to, keep some of that players base, program builder archetype is going to be for you. Here's the 3 things you can do. Gift a gab, which is additionally persuasion attempts. You can do roster retention, which is increasing the chance of persuading a player to stay. Or you can do a full refund, get an additional persuasion. Same stuff they had kind of last year with the packages. That's the same stuff. All right, transfer portal customization. This one's what we wanted to hear. They got deal breakers. So new settings include right here, max transfers per team. Adjust how many players can be transferred from a single team. 0. So you can make it where no one transfers or up to 30. Setting this to 0 disables the portal entirely for the traditional experience. That's cool. Some of you may want to do that. Some of you don't like this transfer portal. Shame on you. But you don't like it, you keep all your players. Transfer probability, user teams and CPUs. So scale how likely players are. User controlled, love this right here. User versus CPU, you can do both of them. Transfer if their deal breaker is violated. This customization, guys, that's what we wanted. Good job, EA. Good job. So we do have full customization. We're going to see what that looks like when you start adding other users. My school, it looks like right here pretty much your grades are going to matter. And that's going to impact your deal breakers, and it's going to impact how much your players progress or don't progress. So if you've got higher grades for weight training, is pretty much what it said. Facilities, your players are basically going to train better as that. Location-based recruiting, they pretty much talked about if someone's further away from your school, if you're Florida, you're recruiting a kid from California, it's going to cost more to recruit him just because he's further away. More resources need to be allocated. That's really the biggest thing. Discovering the next star. Pretty much right here, they want to talk about finding the OKGs. That's what they're calling them, which is our kind of guys. We all want that. We all have a philosophy, mentality of who we want on our team. Pretty much what they're talking about here is that they want people to be more, I guess, generational, and they want there to be fewer of them, and they want you to scout. When you scout and you actually find those guys, they're not going to be as high probability. You get very excited. You find that Jeremiah Smith, you find that DJ Lagway, and you're like, yes, this will turn my team around. Well, that's pretty much what they did to kind of revamp here on the recruiting part of it. And then they got recruiting battles. Pretty much here what they're talking about is if you and someone else are tied at the end and he hasn't committed yet or he's about to, it may trigger a recruiting battle. And if it does, it's going to add another new max limit that you got to get to, a threshold to hit, and then you'll both just battle it out again for that. Recruit generation, here's another thing. So they're going to increase the pool to 4,100 players. You'll be able to find players with high-level attributes, silver, gold tier abilities, these kinds of elite prospects that can transform a program, but there'll be fewer of them overall. So like I was talking about, they've also reworked how pitches and deal breakers are assigned to better reflect the wants and needs of players today. Glamour positions like quarterback, running back, wide receiver, corner, and edge now match heavier emphasis on brand exposure to better reflect their expectations and NIL opportunities. Okay. Sway to not. They're pretty much talking about right here, they revamped swaying. We're going to have to test that out to see. And recruiting quality of life, guys, they added this, player needs, team needs right there. You can see a lot more information as far as the board and how many you can see at a time, how you can sort. I think if we go down a little bit, they're talking about here, so you can do a couple more, I guess you could say filters. You could do a maximum starting rating, minimum pipeline level, and then recruiting stage. So they've added just some more ways, things that make it a lot easier and quicker to navigate. Player progression. Player development is a core building of a successful program, while talent acquisition is without question the most important thing in college football. Inability to develop your players and keep them reaching their full potential can prevent you from realizing your dreams of winning a national championship. So it says living in the iron paradise. So I think this is what they're talking about. You have an increased number of skill gap levels from 10 to 20, allowing for more gradual and natural progression. A player's development trait can also plays a bigger role in off-season progression. So now it's actually going to matter. While these variables is how much a player develops during the offseason, players with impact, star, and elite dev traits now have a higher minimum amount they will progress. This increases the likelihood that players with a better development trait will progress more than players with a normal trait. Pretty much talking about every year we see freshmen arrive on campus, undergo significant physical changes during their offseason. Now when a player hits the iron paradise and puts in the work, you'll see physical changes to their body. Okay, actual weight gain. That's pretty cool. That's realistic. Lastly, your school's athletic facility grades in my school now increases the amount of progression your players will get. So you want to get that up so your players can progress better. Physical abilities. It says previously all physical abilities required a single attribute level to unlock their tier. For example, 95 toughness to unlock platinum workhorse. Now some abilities like shifty require 2 attribute ratings to upgrade them. Okay, so they've reworked that a little bit. This screen right here shot of Jeremiah Smith, and he's a 99 overall. That's crazy. He's got platinum, double dip, and recoup, and the player model looks great. I mean, this guy's going to be a beast. From impact to star, dev traits. So dev traits are going to increase. They're pretty much talking about someone that is normal to impact is more likely than someone jumping from star to elite. That's the biggest thing you need to know there. Training results. So what I understand here, it looks like you can do manual, and if you do manual, they're going to nerf it. And it says right here, manual progression can offer significant advantage in shaping player growth. When it's turned on, it comes with a 25% progression nerf to help maintain. So I guess it's so if you have like a 92, 91 speed quarterback, you don't just, that's only 78 overall and you get all these points, so he's 99 speed. I think that's what they do. I think that's what they're talking about there. But it says right here, the nerf is fully customizable by the Dynasty Commissioner. It can be turned off completely or increased to 100% to fully prevent users from auto-progressing. Wow. They made it another customizable option. They listened very well this year. Ryan Williams we got here. So if you guys can see right here on the screen, you hold that button and you can progress him by himself. We'll see how that goes in our dynasty. If we're going to turn that off, keep it on, we'll see. Position changes. Pretty much the big thing here is they're talking about if a player has got to make a change from one position to the other, unlike last year's game where people were doing the recruiting or the position change glitch, that's not going to be able to happen. You're not going to be able to do that and keep all the abilities. And it's pretty much just going over some screenshots talking about that. Managing wear and tear. Okay, I'm gonna sum this up really quick for you. If you get hurt really bad by the end of the season and you heal very little in the off season, that's going to roll over to the next year. If you didn't get hurt that bad, you're going to have a way higher health bar, and it's all going to be based off of a health bar. If you've got a running back that's running the ball 30 times a game, you're probably not going to have him very long. So you got to think about that. And I'm pretty sure they're going to segue that into auto subs and stuff like that. Strategic auto subs. So you can do keep them fresh, normal, grinded out, and custom. That's how all that's going to play into it. That's what they're talking about there. And then custom settings, everything as far as the wear and tear. We've already been over that a couple different times. Exploring the world of college football. They pretty much just want 136 teams. Delaware, Missouri State got added in. They're a part of the new authentic fields. Part of college football history. Pretty much what they're talking about here is the history features is that they're pretty much keeping everything all the way dated back to 1869. Wow, that's crazy. Conference championships date back to 1896. So, wow. So they're going back to everything to when it was a Pac-8, Pac-10, stuff like that champions. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I think we like that. And that's just showing that. We saw that in the trailer. So that's pretty cool. Player cards, numbers don't lie. So it looks like player cards are going to be able to now you can find all the information about the player, awards, stats, all that good stuff. Numbers don't lie. Talking about right here, improved tiebreaker logic. I'm not going to go over this in full detail. You guys can slow it down right here. Just telling you how that process is going to work. And the stat padding, they're pretty much talking about they added some new stat stuff for career things as far as team stats and player stats. New position archetypes. This is one that we definitely wanted to hit. The Sam, Wills, and Mikes will definitely be in the game. And then you'll also have LS and Gadget guys. The GAD will be the Gadget guys. So I'm definitely want to see how those guys look in the game. New archetypes include Speedster, Route Runner, a Route Artist, Physical Route Runner, Elusive Route Runner, Gritty Possession, Gadget Receiver. This is the one that I think is like Percy Harvin, Tavon. I'm so excited for this one. Do-it-all player who might take snaps QB or running back, built for trick plays and misdirections. That's awesome. And contested specialist dominates tight coverage, high points the ball, and wins jump ball scenarios. It sounds like Jeremiah Smith. Formation subs. Here we go. Pretty much talking about, everybody's familiar with formation subs. It's back. We're excited about it. You don't have to do it in the game anymore. We can do it before we even get the season started. It's going to be awesome. Custom conferences and protected opponents. That's in the game. If, we wanted this, we got it. We all know what it's here, what it does. That's cool. Scheduling updates. They added that. College football playoffs. They kind of just updated what the 2025 formula will be that they'll actually be using in real life. The top 4 teams will get the first 4 seeds. And they got a lot of quality of life improvements, pretty much quick access. Pretty much what they're telling you about is you're going to see player info and stats everywhere all the time. Always be able to see it. We didn't have this last year to where Heisman, you would just see his name and his player card. We had no idea what they did. We had no idea why they were even in the actual Heisman race. And then they're talking about, development traits will show quick access to team schedules, team members, all that stuff. Team member screen looks really good. Dynasty refresh looks good with that coach right there. Crossplay. All right, we got crossplay back. You guys know what that means. We're all going to be able to play now. So that's cool. Between PlayStation and, obviously Xbox Series X. Pre-order bonus. So what is this? To give players a head start in building their programs, all pre-orders of College Football 26 will receive a bonus of 100 coach points when you start a dynasty. This bonus applies to every dynasty you start. And in addition to the 1,000 coach points you earn over time through progression, giving you an early edge. Okay, so if you pre-ordered the game, you're getting a little bit of an advantage right here. Oh, wait, hang on. It says we also know that not every league wants to start with these bonuses. So, commissioners, you can turn it off if you want to. So, not that big of a deal. Dynamic time of day. I'm so excited for this. This is going to make the night games and the evening games feel so more important and feel so more realistic. That right there, going from that time to that time. That's cool. Now, what we're talking about broken record feedback. They're going to give you notifications about all that. So, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Red shirt updates, scouting ability info, increased spreadsheets, team builder. Guys, I'm just going to breeze through this. I'm not a huge team builder guy. I don't really mess with it quite as much as some other people do. I'm going to slow scroll through this and let you guys read it if you want to. Basically, you can import teams from College Football 25. Define your program. They added a lot of customization between, player abilities, their names, more stuff to the school. I mean, you can literally add, prestige grades and stuff like that, affect it how you want to, and then pretty much enhance roster editing and bio and appearance. So you guys that are team builders, you got what you wanted. And you can mess with the player archetype, development traits, player potential, all that. You can do all that now. So that's pretty cool. Generic stadiums, they added a couple more, 3 generic stadiums. And then you can do pipelines too. Rivalries, this is one we're talking about. Rivalries are a core piece of college football and have control of them. Fill out the historical information. Okay, so this is still for Team Builder, though. And top 10 toughest places to play. We've got LSU's number 1, Penn State 2, Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, Clemson, Florida, Oklahoma, Oregon, and Michigan as the top 10. Here's my post-game speech that they've got down here. Thank you guys for watching. If you're still here, Dynasty seems like it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to play it. I can't wait to go over a ton of the features and videos for you guys. Like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you guys then.